Let's
Talk
about
movies.
Drop it.
So let's talk about Jurassic World. William, your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought that it was just basically a remix of the first film. Everything that happens in the first film happens in this film, but the plot holes are bigger and the stakes are a lot lower, and then things, will not blow up. People get eaten, but you don't feel anything for anyone, and there's no consequence. And it's just a bit of a silly film, to be honest.
What about the dinosaurs? I mean, the dinosaurs were huge here. And actually, they've come in for some criticism by scientists, which is just ridiculous, really. I mean, scientists have better things to do. Cure AIDS, for one thing.
AIDS, yeah, true.
But what do you think about the dinosaurs?
No, it's like the fourth film with dinosaurs in it. A little bit over them now. Sort of like the point of the park. Like, there's no comment on what Jurassic Park is supposed to be. It's supposed to be, the first film was a comment on how much we need to be entertained and how far we'll go to be entertained, but really it's just...
Have you been entertained too much over the last 22 years?
Same things, isn't it? There's like, all you need is just consequence for the characters, and instead they just get people eaten.
Chris Pratt was brilliant as the leading man. Very, very good as a movie star now. Like Mel Gibson. But unlike Mel Gibson, I doubt he'll criticise the Jews and be destroyed as a major actor.
You go into the film feeling, I guess it's not the film's fault that Chris Pratt will sort of do another Star-Lord-esque performance, but really he's not fleshed out at all. And his character, Owen Grady, isn't likeable. Chris Pratt's likeable. That's the only reason you connect to him, like, whatsoever. And one thing about him, that he used to be in the Marines. And that's it. There's no character development there at all. And you only have a little bit of whatever you feel for him because you spend like 2 hours with him. And if he lives or dies, it doesn't make you feel anything. These kids, like the little kid, the younger brother, he's a good actor and he does some good crying. And then the older brother is a pervert and a bit horrible. And then they're developing the characters for like half an hour, and you're like, oh, they're gonna discuss this sibling relationship between these two brothers, but instead they just start crying and screaming and running as everyone else does in the film. So when they're in danger, you just think, well, if they get eaten, you don't feel any way about it.
Spoiler.
There's that bit where their childminder or whatever, their nanny, dies like a really brutal death. And
funny. They
see all this death and they're in all this horrible danger, and at the end they don't seem moved by it at all.
They don't have any psychological issues.
Exactly.
Any post-traumatic stress disorder.
No.
I mean, if soldiers had that, then you would expect that kids did.
If you see like a really brutal car crash, it'll affect you a little bit. So if you see like pterodactyls dragging people out of off the ground and like eating them, and then some woman who they put her in direct danger, that woman, their nanny, wouldn't have died if they just did what they were told. Instead they just ran off.
It was the children's fault that she died.
Yeah, and then so that happened, and they were just like, oh man, that's how life goes.
Mark Commode says, he has fabulous hair, by the way, only surpassed by his massive hands. He says, worse, the thumbnail sketch characters, endangered kids, parenthood unready adults, kooky tech guys, etc. remind us how much more fully fledged were the progenitors in the 1993 Crichton/David Kirk scripted original. What did you think about that?
He was just referring to how I was gonna swear. Can I swear? Shitty. He was just referring to how two-dimensional the characters were. And the whole point of a film like this, where characters are being chased, is so that you fear for their safety because you care for them. If you don't care for them because they're two-dimensional, as in scared woman, scared child, scared older brother, in-charge man, if they're drawn like that, then you can't care for them, and so it completely defeats the purpose of the film.
I cared more about the dinosaurs in this film, to be honest.
Yeah, like the Velociraptors, they were nice.
They were.
Blue, he's a good dinosaur.
Team Velociraptors.
Yeah, I like that. Dinosaurs better than that, yeah. And now we're going to talk to my friend, Roadman Reggie.
Mr. Reggie, what did you think of the film Jurassic World?
That film's nothing but fake, man. That's just some pagan thing that like people are making up and making people believe that they were dinosaurs, when it blatantly says in the Bible, then it's like there was no dinosaurs. God did not create dinosaurs. Like, it's just some bullshit science project, man. It's just fake.
You sound like you come from a deprived area. Have you ever seen the bones of a dinosaur?
Seeing the bones of a dinosaur, like, there's no such thing as dinosaurs in it. Like I said before, it's a pagan thing. Like, it's just these science people, like, they don't want to believe in God's work in it, so they make up their own bullshit in their own mind in it. Like, same way they said man went to the moon, no man never went to the moon in it. Same way there's no dinosaurs. Like, they try to say on the news how, like, dinosaurs, yeah, I found in their bones, I found in museums and shit. I don't want to hear that shit, that's bullshit. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing, there's some fake make-believe thing, get me?
How did the violence of this film compare to the violence of the ghetto?
Oh my days, bro, there's shootings and stabbings around there every day, bro. I can tell you about the time man got shanked in it. Man got shanked. Hold on, who's this guy watching? Yo! You cool, yeah?
Hello?
What, say that again? Bro, come over here and say that, innit? Come.
But, hello, Reggie.
Reggie? Hello?
Reggie. Hello, Reggie.
Brilliant. Well, that's just about it for Let's Talk About Movies. Join us next time when, you've guessed it, we'll be talking about movies on Let's Talk About Movies.